Welcome to Bistory Media. During the January 15, 1966 military coup in Nigeria, key military officers and politicians were assassinated. This plunged the nation into a cycle of political instability and ethnic tensions that left a lasting negative impact on the unity of the country and its governors. I will take you back in time to look at the names, the faces, and the profile of military officers who lost their lives during the unfortunate January coup. So, let's dive straight into the details. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. It will go a long way to support our war. Thank you. We begin with Lieutenant Colonel James Yakubu Pam. Lieutenant Colonel James Yakubu Pam was the first Nigerian artillery officer and the first military officer from the Middle Belt to be commissioned into the Nigerian Army. Yakubu Pam was born to the family of Pam Zagok and Chudong of Ju District in Jos, in the old Plateau Province, now Plateau State. Lieutenant Colonel James Yakubu Pam received his foundational education at Central School in Pangshin and St. Paul's Primary School in Jos. From here, he proceeded to Barewa College in Zaria, where he earned an exemption from the London matriculation. This was an honor for outstanding students at the time. He went to Sudan Interior Mission School and later enlisted into the Nigerian Regiment of the Royal West African Frontier Force. Yakubu Pam attended regular officer special schools in Teshi in Ghana. Thereafter, he was trained at cadet school at Eton Hall in England. In 1955, he received the Queen's Commission as a second lieutenant after completing his officer's training at the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, England. James Yakubu Pam held various positions within the West African Frontier Force. He was elected to serve as aide-de-camp to the Governor-General of the Northern Region, Mr. Sherwood Smith. Later, he attended the Joint Service Staff College JSSC in Camberley, England. On his return to Nigeria, Pam was appointed the first African to command the 3rd Battalion Nigerian Army in Kaduna. He eventually held the position of Adjutant General of the Nigerian Army until his assassination in 1966. Before his death, however, Lieutenant Colonel James Yakubu Pam was involved in various peacekeeping missions in various regions of the world. These included operations in the southern Cameroons, the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in the Congo, intervention during the Tea riots, and the suppression of mutiny in Tanganyika, now Tanzania. Interestingly, this operation earned him recognition from President Julius Nyerere, who honored him with a lion's skin and shield. During the unfortunate event of January 15, 1966 military coup d'etat in Nigeria at about 2:10 a.m., Lieutenant Colonel James Yakubu Pam was abducted and later killed by a group of soldiers led by Major Humphrey Chukwuka. Lieutenant Colonel Pam was married to Elizabeth Pam, who was born to Ghanaian Christian father and a Fulani Muslim mother, and together they had 6 children, including 2 girls and 4 boys. At number 2 is Lieutenant Colonel Ato Onegbe. Another victim of the January 15, 1966 military coup d'etat in Nigeria was Lieutenant Colonel Ato Onegbe. Onegbe was a Nigerian military officer who was at the time of the coup serving as the Quartermaster General Army Headquarters in Lagos. This position made him responsible for overseeing the logistical and operational needs of the army, a crucial role in maintaining military operations. Onegbe enlisted into the army in 1955. He attended Royal Military Academy Sandhurst and was commissioned a year later, along with Patrick Awona, Yakubu Gowon, Alexandra Madibo, and Mike Okwechime. He received further training at the Pakistan Command and Staff College, Quetta, in Pakistan. Some of his course-mates included Hilary Njoku and Mai Mallory. After his return from Pakistan, he became a commander of the tactical unit in Kano, the 5th Battalion. His unit was called upon to quell riots caused by partisan agitations in the Benue Valley. Onegbe was murdered in his home in Apapa during the coup operation by Major Anuforo. Lieutenant Colonel Ato Onegbe was the only Igbo military officer who was killed by the plotters. Onegbe is from the Midwest region of the country. At number 3, Lieutenant Colonel Abubula Gema. Lieutenant Colonel Abubula Gema, a Magi from Damboa in present-day Borno State, was a commanding officer of the 4th Battalion in Nigerian Army Ibadan. Lagema was one of those officers who paid with their life during the January 15, 1966 mutiny. He was said to be tricked out of his hotel room and gunned down at the Coup Hotel, Lagos, during the early hours of January 15, 1966. Lagema was born on the 1st of November, 1933. In 1937, he went to Bama Elementary School and later Bronu Middle School until 1943, and to the prestigious Kauna College from 1945 to 1950. On the 2nd of January 1951, he enlisted into the Nigerian Regiment of the Royal West African Frontier Force. Before then, he had received military training in some of the best institutions of the world. So, armed with sufficient quality military training, Abubula Gema rose through the ranks during his military career. At the height of his military career, he became the commanding officer of the 4th Battalion of the Nigerian Army Ibadan. He was one of the few officers who had shown great promise of gallantry and courage. But he suffered martyrdom at the hands of a few disgruntled army officers in the senseless military coup on January 15, 1966. At number 4 is Colonel Ralph Shodeinde. Colonel Ralph Shodeinde was a distinguished Nigerian military officer whose career and life were unfortunately cut short during the country's first military coup d'etat in January 1966. Shodeinde was born in Lagos and belonged to the Yoruba ethnic group, which is predominantly found in the southwestern part of Nigeria. Colonel Shodeinde received comprehensive military education, attending several prestigious military institutions. His education and training laid the foundation for a successful career in the Nigerian Army. At the time of his tragic death, Colonel Ralph Shodeinde was serving as the Deputy Commandant of the Nigerian Military Training College in Kaduna. This role placed him in crucial position for training and development of future military leaders in Nigeria. Unlike many other casualties of this coup d'etat, the manner in which Shodeinde was killed by the mutineers is unclear, but his wife testified that he was shot by Nwatuegu and Nzegu. However, details of how he was killed is beyond the scope of this video. At number 5 is Colonel Coup Mohammed. Another victim of the unfortunate military coup d'etat of January 15 was Colonel Coup Mohammed. Coup Mohammed, from a Shua Arab family of Arabic scholars, was born in Bama, Kanembu Kingdom in modern-day Borno State, Nigeria, on the 2nd of June, 1933. Some sources claim he was born in 1934. In 1937, he went to Bama Elementary School and later Bronu Middle School until 1943. He also attended the prestigious Kauna College from 1945 to 1950. On the 2nd of January 1951, he joined the League of Nigeria's men of unshakable valor, courage and gallantry as he enlisted into the Nigerian Regiment of the Royal West African Frontier Force. Coup Mohammed had received military training in some of the best institutions of the world. Some of the courses and institutions he attended across the world include weapons training at the West African Command Training School, Tactics Platoon Command Course in the same institution, Officer Cadet Training School at Eaton Hall, Officers Cadet Course at the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, the Mons Officers Course at the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, among others. His rise in the army was commensurate with the quality of training he had received. At the time of the January coup, when his life and career were cut short, Coup Mohammed was acting Chief of Staff, Army Headquarters in Lagos. He was standing in for Colonel Robert Adebayo, who was said to be on leave. At number 6 is Brigadier Zakaria Mai Malari. Brigadier Zakaria Mai Malari of the Nigerian Army was one of the casualties of the unfortunate January 15, 1966 military coup d'etat in Nigeria. At the time of this incident in 1966, he was commander of the 2nd Brigade, Apapa, Lagos. Zakaria Mai Malari was born in 1930 in Mai Malari, a town in the Yusufari local government area of Yobe State. He belonged to the Kanuri ethnic group. Mai Malari was educated at the famous Barewa College in Zaria before proceeding for further studies and training abroad. In 1950, Mai Malari, along with his childhood friend Lawan Umar, joined the Royal West African Frontier Force. As part of Nigerianization program of government at the time, he underwent preparatory courses at the Regular Officers Training School, Teshi in Ghana, and the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. The Nigerianization program was government effort to enlist more indigenous Nigerians into officer cadre of the Nigerian Army. Both Mai Malari and his friend Lawan attended Sandhurst Academy, but Lawan was later discharged from the army. He was an instructor at the Nigerian Military Training College and later commander of the 2nd Battalion, Nigerian Army. The day before the January 15, 1966 military coup, Mai Malari was celebrating his recent marriage, but unknown to him, some of the attendees were also rebel leaders who would come back to haunt him. On the day of the coup, as soon as rebel soldiers entered his compound, he escaped through the back of his house, at first hiding in a small portal in his compound before exiting into the main road. On the road, however, he flagged a car, hoping to go to Ikeja. But unfortunately, the car was a rebel car and he was captured and later killed. At number 7, Brigadier Samuel Ademulegun. Brigadier Ademulegun was born on the 20th of October 1924 in Ondo Town, in the then Western Nigeria. At the time of his death, he was considered one of the finest officers in the country. Brigadier Ademulegun was born into the family of Mr. and Mrs. Michael Ademulegun. Ademulegun began his early education in Ondo State before joining the Nigerian Army as a private in 1942. Brigadier Samuel Ademulegun was married to Mrs. Latifat Feishitan Abike Ademulegun, who was also known as Sisi Nurse. Unfortunately, she was also a casualty of the January 15, 1966 coup. Ademulegun was survived by his daughter, Mrs. Swelape Ademulegun Abi, Pankule, Konle, Benga, Goke, and his oldest son, Frank Bamidele, who later enlisted into the Nigerian Air Force, where he rose to the rank of group captain before he died in 2002. Brigadier Samuel Ademulegun was commissioned in 1949 and was one of the senior officer corps of the army, along with Agui-Ronsi, Zakaria Mai Malari, and Babafemi Ogundipe. In 1965, upon the retirement of the expatriate general officer commanding GOC of the army at the time, Ademulegun was among the officers vying for the top position of general officer commanding. However, he was considered friendly with Ahmadu Bello. But at the time of his death, Ademulegun was a commander of the 1st Brigade, Kaduna. Unfortunately, Ademulegun and his wife were killed while in bed during the 1966 coup. The two were shot by rebel officers led by Timothy Uhatuegu. Now, other casualties of this coup, whose complete profile are not immediately ascertained, and who are mostly from the Nigerian police, are as follows. Sergeant Daramola Oyekuke was a Yoruba from the western region of Nigeria. Police Constable Philip Lawande was from the minority section of the northern region. Police Corporal Apan Anduka was Efik from the eastern region of Nigeria. Police Corporal Hagai Lai, minority from the northern region. Police Corporal Yohana Gakawa was a minority from the northern region of the country. Lance Corporal Musa Nimzu was also from the minority section of the northern region. Ahmed Pategi was also a minority from the northern region, while Zaruni Sadauna was a minority also from the northern region. If you would like to know how Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were killed in this military coup, kindly click the video displayed here. And if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. And if you are new here, consider subscribing to this channel. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Peace. Want to watch more videos like this? Subscribe to Bistory Media and press the bell icon next to it. We'll bring you more videos on the forgotten history of Nigeria and important events around the African continent, the power, and things the world should know about Africa. Thanks for watching, and until my next video, please stay tuned and cheers.